Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at most of the first wave of the new Hasbro Lightning Collection for Power Rangers. The only other one that is in this wave that I did not pick up is Dino Charge Red, and that's because I have that pre-ordered on Hasbro Pulse. These I had pre-ordered on Target.com, but then I checked and they were back-ordered. So I found them in store, and I took them up to the front. They were street dated, but the employee just overrode it or just like keyed it in as merchandise or whatever. So he sold them to me. So I was happy to get them, and I'm very excited to share them with you now. So we'll be taking a look at these three: Mighty Morphin Lord Zedd, which I don't know, that phrase just is hilarious to me. But obviously it's Lord Zedd from season 2 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, SPD Shadow Ranger, and then of course Mighty Morphin White Ranger. So first thing right off the bat, the packaging is beautiful. I love this artwork. Ever since it was unveiled at Toy Fair, I thought it was beautiful. Now it's in person, I think it's even better. It's just really, really nice. And I love how it kind of like bleeds over onto the side. I think that's really cool. And the other thing that's kind of neat, I might keep the packaging. I don't usually keep the packaging, but just kind of putting these all like on a shelf, almost like books, maybe like in the background and then have the figures displayed in the front, I think would look really, really cool. I think that's something that would look really neat. So I might keep the packaging, but just really nice artwork. Absolutely loving that. The back is very simplistic. It's just kind of a picture of the figure. There's no Build-A-Figure or anything like that. So whereas the old like Bandai Legacy figures used to have a picture of the Megazord on the back, nothing like that here. No Build-A-Figure pieces, so you don't have to worry about hunting down individual ones or, you know, worried that your Megazord won't have legs or anything like that. So none of those problems anymore. We're just getting really nice effect pieces, accessories, civilian heads, obviously not for Lord Zedd, but just really nice accessories, and I think that was the way to go, to just 86 the Build-A-Figure Zord parts, because those figures, that when they went together, they weren't even that great, to be honest. I would rather, if they're going to do Zords, just give me a Zord as the figure, and then give me his weapons and accessories and effect pieces, and of course civilian head for the Zord. No, I'm just kidding. But I just think that would be the better way to go, so I'm kind of glad Hasbro is heading in this direction. But these look great. I'm going to go ahead and get them out of the box, and we're going to take a closer look. Here are the three figures out of the packaging, and I will say it does seem like Tommy is the shortest out of the three. Maybe Shadow Ranger's next, and then Lord Zedd's a little bit taller. Or maybe it's just because like Lord Zedd has kind of a grandiose presence. We'll just start with him, because, I mean, of all the figures I feel like just literally walked out of the television, it's Lord Zedd. Like, this figure is really well done. Now, he does have a lot of like soft plastic pieces on him for the effects and everything, and I will say that right off the bat, this whole chest piece just comes off. It's just pegged in. It's just a peg. So if you see this right here, there's a cavity right there. This pegs in, because in the packaging it was kind of skewed and I was a little worried about it, but you can just straighten it, peg it in. I might even just drop like a little bit of super glue in there just to make sure it stops popping out, because it does kind of pop out if you move the arms. Obviously the like tubes all over his body is a really cool effect piece, but it does get in the way of a lot of articulation and stuff. Here is the Z staff with the effect piece on it, and this is just like lightning things that you just kind of wrap around it, so you can just take that off, put that off to the side. He does also come with 2 additional fists. Well, this one's a fist, this one's kind of an open hand. And they have the normal wrist movement there, like most of these kinds of figures do. I would say these are very on par with Marvel Legends or the Star Wars Black Series. But you can see he does come with the little ball that he throws to Earth to make the monster grow, and that's just loosely fitting in his hand, but he clutches it really well, like to the point that if you shake it, it's not really going to fall out of there. So I think that's really cool. As far as the staff goes, I will take it out of his hand. It looks great. I think they did a nice job with it. It's simple, but it, you know, it gets the point across. It does what it needs to do. Looks good. It has kind of a thicker section here in the middle, which is what I kind of had him hold on to. That way he grasps it very tight, doesn't like fall or move or shake. So again, pretty simple, but I think it looks good. But just taking a look at him in general, with the exception of the chest piece, kind of falling out because it's loose. But again, I really feel like I could just maybe just a little drop of super glue or something, and then just really make sure you have it lined up. I mean, it's not like it's going to fall out just standing there, but if you try to like move the arm or something because they're connected over here, it's very possible that by moving this will kind of come loose. But it's not like it completely drops off. It does kind of hover in place until you just peg it back in. So anyway, the head sculpt is amazing. Beautiful paint. The red metallic paint for the visor is great. The silver for the head is really good. You have the, I don't know, crest, antenna, whatever you want to call that thing. And look at the detailing on the brain that's exposed. That's pretty nuts. Like I said, this guy really just feels like he walked out of the television. Like, it's just such a perfect amount of detailing and sculpting. Oops. Just everything about this guy. You can see the hips are like a little loose, but it's really not too much of a big deal, to be honest. So let's get into articulation here. So the head is on a ball joint and a hinge. Well, actually, yeah, he does have the hinge too. So you can see the hinge is there, but then there's the ball joint on the top. So great range of motion there, up, down, side to side. The shoulders have the ability to kind of rock back and forth, as well as the hinge. And then they can also spin. So a lot of great movement in the shoulder there. The joints are very tight. And when I said they're on par with Marvel Legends, it's because sometimes I also feel scared with Marvel Legends where I'm moving joints around and I feel like I'm going to break something. But it's just because they're tight, which is good. I mean, you don't want them to be floppy. You have this bicep swivel right here. You have the double elbow joint, which, like most Marvel Legends, the one that's connected to this part of the forearm, I'm sorry, this is the forearm, this is the bicep. The part that's connected to the bicep doesn't really move a whole lot. Most of the elbow joint is here, but like if you need it to move just a little bit, it can. And then of course you have the wrist that swivels, and then that joint as well, the hinge in the elbow. Geez, the wrist. I can't talk today. The part that I really think is neat, they have this top upper torso piece that rotates around, and then they also have like an abdomen crunch, like deep towards the crotch. So it's kind of weird. Like with the old figures, they kind of had one abdomen crunch, or the girls would have just the top piece, and these guys kind of have both. So definitely can get some good poses out of that. Hips, you can kind of go out to the side, you can go to the front. You have a thigh swivel, and you can see that the thigh swivel is actually like right here. So that piece all swivels like that, which I think looks good. Then you have double knee joints, depending on how you need to bend it. Which again, sometimes I really do feel like I'm going to break some of these joints, but it's just because, again, they're really tight. And then the ankle can go down, but also has the swivel like that. So he just really, really looks solid. And I'm really impressed with the job they did. Like I said, the only thing I have to complain about the guy is the loose chest plate. But I really feel like I can fix that myself. And it's not so loose that it's like falling out. It's just, if you try to move around a lot, it can sometimes fall out. But he's just really got like a great presence. Like once you give him the staff, I kind of just pop this in here and then slide it down. There we go. I kind of like it better without the effect piece, I'll be honest. And then I give him the ball to make the monster grow. And then straighten this little chest piece there. I mean, the whole chest piece is like a softer plastic. It's very soft. So if that's something that really turns you off to the figure, I understand that. There's a lot of pieces around, like down here is kind of a softer plastic. These things around the knee joints are softer plastic. And then obviously all the tubes. But like up here, all this detailing here is all molded into the figure. So it's just kind of like the parts that hide the joints. And the chest piece there. But overall, like I said, he's got a really nice commanding presence, and I think the figure looks fantastic. Next up, we'll take a look at Shadow Ranger. I think they did a really great job with this guy. I love that he has the little sheath on his belt to hold the sword. We'll go ahead and take that out. The sword itself looks fantastic. See if I can zoom in here a little bit. Really nice detailing there on the hilt. Sword looks good. Have that nice little pop of red paint there. You can use this effect piece, which you just kind of slide around the blade. And I might have this upside down. Apologies if I do. But you just kind of corkscrew this through the middle here. There you go. It's kind of a tight fit, which is good though, because that way it stays on there. But that looks awesome. Like really, really awesome. They did a great job with that. Like I said, you want it to be tight because you don't want it to slide up and down. It stays in place. You can turn it upside down. It's not going anywhere. So I think that looks really cool. I like that quite a bit. I'm going to put that off to the side for the moment. He has this 2-finger hand pose and then a normal fist. And then this hand is kind of made to hold out the license. Now, I know a lot of people are saying that the license is painted backwards, and I guess they might be right. I really don't know much about SPD, to be honest with you. But let me show you the other side of the license. So if that is where it's supposed to be painted, that's very possible. But I think it looks fine over here. I mean, it's pretty nice detail for something so small. So I can't really complain. Let me zoom out. Now mine has the tiniest little scuff on the helmet. You can see right there. And I think that's just some of the blue paint wore off. It's very minuscule, but I guess just be careful. I saw another one in the store where the 100 had a lot of like white spots in the red paint. I mean, that's just kind of, you know, defects, things happen. So just check your figures if you can. Because obviously I got one where I think this looks really sharp and really nice. The helmet's a little scuffed, but I feel like from far away you really can't see it that much. But the design of the helmet is great. I love that. You can also see there's a little bit of paint up here that's a little messed up. But again, I mean, from a reasonable distance you can't even really see it. I think it looks good. They did a great job with the sculpting and the design. So I'm really happy. He's got pretty much all the same articulation as Zedd. Same head articulation, shoulder in and out. Now obviously this guy moves around a little bit easier because he doesn't have all of the wires and everything all over his body. But he's got all this, got the same torso. He does have the waist thing, but because of the belt you hardly see it. But he does have that little bit of movement there as well. And he can kick a little bit easier. He gets pretty high kick there, which is nice. He's got the double jointed knee, which is kind of hidden by his boot cuff here, which is pretty cool. And then he's got the same feet articulation in the ankle. So pretty cool. I really like him a lot. Love the color scheme. The kind of light blue metallic paint I think looks really sharp. Carries around to the back. Everything looks good. You can stand well, and you can switch out the fists if you would like. You just pop that out of there, and then you can put the fist in if you'd rather. And they're pretty long, I gotta be honest. You just go ahead and pop that back in there. So there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him the sword in his hand here. And I'll be the first one to admit that I'm terrible at posing figures, so I apologize. I'm probably not doing these guys justice. Oh, the civilian head. We got to check out the civilian head. So it's not too bad, to pop off these heads. And then obviously we have the doggy Kroger head. Let me give you a close-up of the head before I attach it. So just stand there with no head, buddy. Come on, stand up. Here we go. So here is the doggy Kruger head. Fantastic detailing. I mean, the texture there in the skin is fantastic. The eyes look good. Just the shading here on the mouth. Really, really well done. And I believe how this is supposed to work, and I'm probably going to get this wrong. I think you're supposed to put this down here like this, and then pop this on. There you go. So that there's no break and it looks like he took his helmet off. I mean, that looks amazing. Can we take a look at that? I mean, come on. It's perfect. It looks so good. I mean, I love the helmet, so that's probably how I'm going to display it, but they really crushed it with the doggy head. And they even gave me the little neck piece. I mean, that looks good. I'm going to leave it like that for a while, because that's really cool. I need to find a good pose so he stands right. Come on. Like I said, I'm terrible at posing figures, so I apologize. But there we go. Doggy, looking good. Great accessories. Civilian head, nailed it. Fantastic. Alright, last but certainly not least, we have the White Ranger Tommy. And I do apologize, since he's white, my lights will probably go a little crazy at some point. I'm not really sure what's up with this hand. He comes with this, like, karate chop hand. I mean, I get it, but I just think it looks a little weird. He does have a normal fist as well. He comes with 2 normal fists, so you can go ahead and switch them out if you prefer. He also comes with this thing, and I gotta be honest, I don't really know what this is. If this is something from the show and I just don't remember it, that's very possible, but I think it's supposed to be like the sword. I don't know. All the pictures I've seen, get out of there, Saba, have shown this like coming from the bottom of the blade, or like maybe he's creating it and throwing it. I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's here. You can have it. There you go. Here is the Tommy civilian head. Not bad. It doesn't look amazingly like JDF to me, but it's pretty good. The eyes are pretty good. He's a little cross-eyed, though. And, of course, the ponytail, because you gotta. So, pretty cool. Civilian head, pretty good. Let's go ahead. We'll take the head off. Pop on the Tommy head. Ah, come on. There we go. I mean, it does look good. I will say he looks good with the civilian head attached. And then can he just like hold the helmet? Maybe if I bend his wrist in. What do you say? What do you say? You want to help me out here? You want to help me out here, buddy? Hold that helmet. Yes, yes. No, no. Maybe. Oh, so close. So close. And then just rolled away and it's gone forever now. I found it. So it's possible. You can get, there should be a way. It doesn't want to cooperate right now, but I'm sure there's a way you can get this. And that looks good. I mean, just envision that it's actually cooperating and it wants to stay there. Oh, there we go. Maybe I found the secret. That looks cool. That would make for a really good display. Well, except for this weird karate hand, but I was gonna say maybe just put that like on his hip. Weird karate hand. There you go. Now, for the love of God, stand. Come on now. We're so close to achieving greatness. You're so close. There we go. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little display to have him there with the civilian head. No, until he falls backwards. All right, well, that's enough of that. So, he doesn't want to hold it. He doesn't want to stand up. Now he's not standing up. He stood up so well all day. What are you doing to me, buddy? But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put the helmet back on. So, it's a little tight, but they're honestly not too bad. There you go. And it has a nice kind of satisfying sound when it is attached, which I appreciate, so you know it's on. But you can see he's got the torso thing, and then he's also got the ab crunch, but I can't make his ab crunch move. And I'm kind of afraid I'm going to break it, so I'm just not going to do it. So, I don't know. I assume his ab crunch is supposed to work, but see how it kind of like goes into his belt really perfectly? It almost makes me feel like it doesn't move. Nope, there's just like no give whatsoever, so I'm not going to break that, but I don't know. Feel free, if someone else can get theirs to move, let me know. But, yeah. It's weird. I'm sorry. I got to get rid of this karate hand. It's terrible. I don't get it. Oh, God. All right, technical difficulties. I got to get this out of here. Okay, that was a little dangerous there, but they're so long, I think. That's what kind of throws me. And you can see how they have kind of like a little part at the end, which is what makes it kind of like snap in, and then you have to pull it out past that. So just be a little careful. But yeah, we're putting that off to the side. Here is Saba. Very nicely painted. Silver paint looks good. All the gold paint looks good. Even have some black stripes here along the head. I wish the eyes were painted, though. I do think that's one thing, that the eyes are not painted, which is a little weird to me. But other than that, he looks really good. I really think they did a great job. As you saw earlier, you can slide him into this little holster here, and he looks pretty good. Or, of course, he can hold him. So let's take him out of there, and we will put this in the hand, which I gotta be honest is a little easier said than done. All right, let's see. Can we get this in here? There we go. There we go. I mean, once it's in there, he holds it really tightly, and it looks good. So, see if I can simulate that pose they had him in when they first showed him off at Morphicon. It was something like this, wasn't it? He's kind of bent at the knee. Something like that. It's actually not bad. Pretty good, I gotta say. Looks good. So yeah, he's got all the same articulation as the others with the head. The shoulder can rock in and out, as well as the hinge. Bicep swivel, elbows, wrist. Again, I don't know what's going on. This part moves great. This ab crunch. I can't talk, man. The ab crunch is a little weird, and I kind of don't want to try it. But then he can kick out to the front, out to the sides. Got the thigh swivel, double jointed knee. Oh, he even has a boot cuff down here swivel. Well, there you go. And then he's got the tilt in the ankle, as well as the up and down movement. So he's got some really good articulation. They did a nice job with him. All right, let's bring this down. So yeah, really, really nice. I'm happy with what they did. But I can't end the video without doing a comparison. You knew it was coming. I'm sure you can probably tell which one is which. I have to say, though, for Bandai's credit, in the beginning, the figures were not bad. Like, this is probably the first time I've actually seriously looked at this. Obviously, this is the Bandai one. It's about half a head taller than the Hasbro Lightning Collection. And shockingly, a little bit more stark white than this one is. I don't mind it, but I think this one's definitely like a brighter white. But I honestly don't think, like I said, towards the beginning, they weren't that bad. I think this one's definitely more gold. Although the helmet detail on this is not bad. So I don't know, man. For all Bandai's faults, when they first started, they cared. It's only the last 2-3 waves where they really gave up. Let's take a look at our Sabas. We will compare. So the Bandai one is significantly larger, I will say. And he's got the eyes painted. But that's about all he's got going for him. Because he's got the... Hasbro has the top painted. Now, strangely enough, mine has gold on this side, no gold on that side, which I just noticed. And then he's got black on both sides and has the eyes painted. I kind of think the eyes painted looks good. Otherwise, gold in all the same spots. And then silver. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, the Bandai one, not terrible. I just noticed that this is really missing that other gold paint application. That's kind of a bummer. But yeah, I mean, I really don't think the Bandai White Ranger was that bad. I gotta be honest. I don't think he was that bad. Do I think the Hasbro one is better? I don't know. It's at least as good. It's definitely at least as good. Ultimately, it's probably better because of the extra accessories and everything. And the civilian head. Obviously, the civilian head actually looks really cool. I do like that. So yeah, I will give the edge to the Hasbro one. But I gotta say, like I said, Bandai, they used to care. They used to make pretty good figures. I do think that the Bandai White Ranger was not bad. but I think the Hasbro one is probably better. You have some paint here on the belt, so Hasbro wins there. I would say for the cuffs, like I would say these are probably, it's a little bit softer plastic. This is, well, this is kind of a softer plastic. For some reason, this just kind of feels more gold than this one does. But, yeah. Definitely a notable size difference, though. That's kind of my biggest takeaway from the two figures. And then just for fun, here is a, let's take him out of here. And here is a Marvel Legend. Just for size comparison, you can see that they're pretty much exactly the same size. And then here is a basic Beast Morpher figure. Pretty much the same size, honestly. I would say that they are similar. Now, obviously, they don't have as much articulation, but at least if you want to pose them on a shelf together, they don't look ridiculous. So, yeah, pretty cool. I like that all of Hasbro's figures are pretty much in scale with each other. I don't have a black Star Wars Black Series figure, but I would assume it's probably the same size as well. So I got to tell you guys, these are really great figures. I'm really happy I picked these up. I know a lot of people who were getting them early, like in Canada and whatnot, were saying, oh, they have all these defects, or they have all these paint problems, or loose joints and things. And I mean, I'm not going to say they're perfect, but no figure is perfect. I mean, Hasbro's been making Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series figures for years now, and they have problems too. The Bandai figures had problems. You're going to run into the occasional paint scuff or loose joint or thing like that. It's going to happen. Like, you can't condemn an entire line of figures for something that small. It's going to happen. But these are just kind of 3 random sampled figures as far as paint scuffs and things like that. And I mean, parts of it are immaculate. Like, I would say the doggy head is perfectly done. And then you have things like the tiny little scuff on the helmet. But I wouldn't say it ruins the figure by any means. And I definitely think these are worth picking up. Now, I did want to say real quick, because I originally compared the Marvel Legends to Tommy, which is the smallest of the 3. So you can see there that, like, Lord Zedd and Doggy are definitely taller than she is. But there are probably Marvel Legends that are also taller than Captain Marvel, like, say, Venom or you know, Hulk, something like that. So the scale's all relative, I think. In universe, they would all kind of be in scale with each other, which is really nice. So I definitely recommend picking these up. Like I said, I will get Dino Charge Red when he ships from Hasbro, and then I'll review him separately, since unfortunately he couldn't be included here because I just don't have it yet. But yeah, these things I think are street dated for May 1st, but if you're lucky, maybe your Target will sell them to you. Otherwise, people I think are getting them from Amazon. Target, like I said, I had them pre-ordered on Target, and then they just all shifted to back-ordered without any kind of notification. So someone else mentioned it to me, and I went and checked mine, and mine was the same way, and I've had other friends check since then, and theirs are the same way. So if you pre-ordered these on Target back when they were announced, like I pre-ordered them during Toy Fair when they were first announced, and still back-ordered, so that's not cool. So, but it doesn't seem like they're too hard to find in stores, so that's the silver lining. I went to one Target today. They were just on the pegs, so I picked them up, tried to buy them, and they sold them to me, and the rest is history. So be on the lookout if they can sell them to you. Otherwise, by May 1st, which is only about, I think, 2 weeks from today, should be able to get these no problem. Hasbro should be shipping them soon. Like I said, I think Amazon already is. So definitely be on the lookout for these. Now, if you already have the White Ranger from Bandai, and you're asking yourself, well, should I bother picking up the White Ranger from Hasbro? It's going to be up to you. I mean, he's kind of in scale with Lord Zedd, as you can see there. So if you're happy with this one and you don't care about the civilian Tommy head, then maybe go ahead and not bother with that one. But, you know, I think it's worth picking up if you really want the civilian head and the extra accessories and stuff. But if you don't care and you already have the other one, stick with it. But if you don't have anything from Bandai, then I would absolutely recommend picking up the White Ranger here, because it's pretty well done. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.